All right, so here we are at the Library of Congress online catalog. The URL is catalog.loc.gov. And we're going to use this catalog to search for records for copy cataloging and download them to our catalog in order to upload them into our integrated library system. The first book that we're going to catalog is called Flutter. Hopefully you've downloaded the examples for copy cataloging document that includes scans of the resources I'm going to demonstrate today. So I have the option of just searching in this search box, which is a quick search. It's a basic keyword search, and you can put in the title, the author's name, a variety of different keywords. But I'm going to go into the advanced search because whenever I have a one-word title, it's often difficult to use a keyword search to look for one-word titles because it's going to bring back anything that has that word in it. Flutter is a little more obscure word, but I'm going to demonstrate how to do an advanced search that I feel is a little bit more controlled. So I'm going to type in the first search box. You can see under advanced search, here's the first search box. I'm going to type in the word Flutter. It gives me options for all of these, any of these as a phrase, and I don't need to use any of them because I've only got one word here. And in this box, I'm going to select to search in the title index. In the next search box, you can see that the first search box and the second search box are combined with the term and. This is a Boolean operator that basically tells the search engine that it wants to search for both the term Flutter, and I'm going to type in the author's last name, which is Linko. So it needs to search for Flutter and Linko and bring back only those resources that have both of those terms in them. I'm going to select in my index name, personal name, and then do search. Click on search. And it brings me back only one record. So now I'm going to take a look at this record. You can see I'm under the tab that says full record. And in this first box, it gives me some very quick information, which is very helpful because I can look over this very quickly and see if it's a match or not. It has Flutter and Gina Linko as the main title, and then Gina Linko is the author's name. It says first edition, and from the information that you have in front of you, you can't see the first edition, but the first edition is in the introduction of this book. And then it says it was published and created in New York, Random House 2012. And we can see in the information on the verso that, the title page it says Random House, New York. And then in the verso it says that the text and the jacket were copyrighted in 2012. And we can see with the little C here that this is a copyright date. So if we scroll down through more of the record, it gives us a description of 343 pages, 22 centimeters, and we can see on our information in the box that it is 343 pages long, and it's a little over 21.5 centimeters tall. And we round that up. We round that up whenever it goes over a mark, we round it up to the next centimeter. So this would be 22 centimeters, which is correct here. We've got some ISBNs listed, and we can see that the ISBN on the back cover is 978-0, and I can see 978-0-375-869969, and that's the ISBN for the hardback, which is what we have. So far this record is a really good match. We've got classification numbers for the Library of Congress that shouldn't concern us. We've got a summary here, and I'm going to just quickly read over it to make sure that there's no hyperbolic language or unnecessary adjectives. Yeah, and it's a good little summary. It doesn't tell the ending of the story. We can see that this summary was provided by the publisher. Next, we have a list of the subject headings that are applied to it. And we'll be taking a look in a second at the MARC tagging, but you see this subdivision is fiction. And then the Dewey class number is fiction. In your library, once you load this record into your integrated library system, you would want to apply a local Dewey call number for this. So it's a match. This is a record that I want to use. I want to, load it in my catalog. I'm going to take a look at the MARC tags though. So up in the top part here where these tabs are, I clicked on the MARC tags tab. And this is where you see all the MARC tags. We've got the 020 field for the ISBN. This is all the fixed field information, leader and such. We've got 9XX fields here at the top, and these are local fields for the Library of Congress. The 082 field is for Dewey. And we'll see that we have this 100 field, which is the author's heading. This is what the main entry is. And you can see that it's Linko, GJ. Well, our author's name is Gina Linko. So why GJ? Well, GJ is the authorized heading. I don't know what research went into why they assigned GJ to this author, but that's what they did. And so it's been applied to this record. It does not have to match what's on the title page, and there's many times where it won't, because the authorized heading is a heading that has been created for this author and is the heading that we use in the 100 field. But you'll note in the 245 field, which is a field that is transcribed from the title page, that it needs to match exactly what's on the title page. So we have Flutter in the subfield A for the title proper, and then we have in the subfield G or C for the statement of responsibility, Gina Linko, which matches exactly what is on the title page. And then we can see the rest of the information here. In the 650 fields, we have a second indicator of 1, which tells us that these are annotated children's subject headings, which is why they have a subdivision of fiction and not juvenile fiction, because the subject heading being a children's subject heading already implies that this is a children's work, and so we don't need to add the juvenile part to the subdivision. So this is a very good record, and I'm going to download it. So I go over to the right side of the page here under this icon for book, and it says, the third one down, it says Save Record. And that's all you have to do is click on that for it to download it. Now it brings you to this page because it's asking you in what format do you want to download it. And you've got only two choices here, MARC Unicode UTF-8 and MARC non-Unicode. This is what the character set will be used when it's downloaded. And for most purposes, I believe we want to use the Unicode. So then we're going to save this. It's going to ask me where I want to save it. I will save it on my desktop, and I will call it Flutter so I can find it. And it's saving it. And so now I'm going to go on to the second record. As you can see by this scan of the title page, the title of the work is Alaska. Now it's got It's My State above it. So it's possible that It's My State is part of the title, but it's also possible that that's a series title. So I'm not going to search for that. I'm going to go back to my advanced search and just search for Alaska in the title and the author's last name, which is Bjorklund. Now, why do I use only the author's last name? Well, I think the last example is a perfect example of this. If I had searched for Gina Linko in the author field, I would not have found that record because Gina is not part of the authorized heading. So usually the last name is stays pretty consistent, and it's the first name, middle initial that tend to change in headings. So I only use the author's last name whenever I'm searching for an author along with the title. And again, I'm going to select to search in the name index and do a search. this results in 3 items. So I can see that they're all books. That's helpful. This one, the first one, was published in 2016 because it has this publication date here in the results screen. 2016, this is 2005, this is 2013. Well, what do I have? I'm going to take a look at the verso of the title page, and it says copyright 2012. I don't see anything that says 2013. So even though none of these match, 2013 is the closest, so I'm going to take a look at this record. Now again, I can see some very quick information up here, but what I see right here is the projected publication date. So this communicates to me that this might be a CIP record, and that this CIP record never got fully updated after the book was published. So I'm going to go to the MARC tags and see exactly where this information is, as well as this description. Hopefully you'll recognize this PCM is what is put into CIPs, or used to be put into CIPs, because they didn't know how many pages or how many centimeters tall it was before it was published. So if I go to the MARC tags, I can see that this 1309 is in the 263 field. Well, I don't know what the 263 field means. I don't know what that stands for. So I'm going to open MARC 21 format for bibliographic data. You can see up in the upper left side of the browser, I've got this resource open, and I'm going to click on it and then come down here to the table of contents and find the 20x to 240x range. And then there's the 250x to 280x range. My field is 263, so this is the range that I want to look at. And then I have listed here all of the fields within that range, and you can see 263 is right here. And the field is called the projected publication date. I'm going to click on the full link because I want to see the full information about this field. It doesn't have any defined indicators. The first and second indicator are undefined, so they don't tell me anything. It has 3 subfield codes, and the first one, subfield A, is the projected publication date. And this field definition and scope says projected date of publication used in bibliographic records for works that have not yet been published. So yes, this again tells me that it's a CIP record. We even see here used for works that have not yet been published but have been cataloged as part of cataloging and publication program. So that's what this number 1309 is. Well, I know that this work has been published because I have it in my hand. So what I do know about CIP records is because they are done before the work has been published, any element of this record can be changed, because as we can see, the information in this record is not completely accurate. So I can go ahead and download this record, and then when I upload it into my library system, I can change the different parts of the record to match what my book has. So I would change the date to 2012 here. I would get rid of the 263 field. I would add the extent information in the 300 field. As we can see, the 490 field is for the series, and It's My State is the series title, so that's great. That matches my resource. I'll look to see if the resource has bibliographic references and indexes, an index, and I can see that it does. It includes a list on the sheet that you have. It says it includes a list of books and websites on page 78, as well as an index. So I would edit that information. The ISBN matches the ISBN in the record, so that's good. So I can use this record. I'm not going to go ahead and download it, but if I was truly copy cataloging, I would download this and then update the record with the information that I have. So if you're searching in other catalogs and you come across a CIP record that doesn't match exactly what you have, do be aware that you can just change the information in that record. Moving on to the third resource is John Sayezka's Truck Town Dizzy Izzy. I'm going to do another search, and this I'm actually going to search for the title Dizzy Izzy. This is unique enough that I don't think I'm going to get too many resources. And I didn't. I have two results. The first result, they're both books again. The first result, the title is Garage Tales, and so I know that this does not match my book. But the second title is Dizzy Izzy, and so I will click on that and see if this is a good record for me to use. Now, you'll notice the scan of the title page has a lot of information on it. For one thing, I didn't know if John Sayezka's Truck Town was part of the title proper or if it was a series title. And we can see, let's go back to this record in front of us. Down below it says series and then John Sayezka's Truck Town. It has another series statement for Ready to Roll Level 1 starting to read. And do I see that in the title page? It says Ready to Read on it. So that may be a different series that our book is in. But let's look a little bit more at this record and see if it's a match or not. We have one volume unpaged under the description. And if I look in the information in the little box next to the scan of the title page, it says that the book doesn't have any pages with numbers, so I counted them, and it's an 18-page picture book. Well, it is perfectly fine to represent an unnumbered book with this designation, one volume unpaged. You can either count them and put 18 pages in brackets in the 300 field, or you can say one volume unpaged. And it says the front cover has Ready to Read Level 1 on it. This says Ready to Roll Level 1. Let's see, do we have an ISBN? Yes, we have 3 ISBNs and a hardcover paperback ebook. Let's see if they match. Looks like my paperback ISBN matches, so that's good. And you'll notice under related names, the cataloger gave added entries for these 3 names that are on the title page. So I'm going to go and look at the MARC tags to see if, yes, John Sayezka is the main entry. And we can see on the title page it says written by John Sayezka. But these 3 other people, it says in our statement of responsibility, characters and environment developed by the Design Garage, and Design Garage is an added entry we see in the 710 field. And then David, Shannon, Lauren Long, and David Gordon are all added entries as well. And these are their authorized headings. The subfield E indicates that they're illustrators. E with the ILL says illustrator. So this is a good record. It's got a nice little summary, a very quick little summary. The only thing is this series heading, and I don't know if that's just a typo by whoever created this record, but this is a record that I would probably read because that's the only thing that's different on it. Everything else matches. All right, and let's go down to the DVD. Now, we're going to do a search for this, Lewis and Clark, and I don't have to put, since this is a basic keyword search, I don't have to put all the elements in. And then we see under on the DVD, this is where I'm taking the title information from the DVD. That's the chief source of information. Right under Lewis and Clark, it says Great Journey West. So I'm going to add that for my title and see what I get. We have, several results, 11. And as we can see by these nice icons, there's a variety of formats. This is a film or video. We've got some books, a non-music recording, and books and a music recording. Well, I have a DVD, so it looks like only the first one will apply. So I'm going to click on that record, and I can see under description it says 1 video cassette, and it's a Betacam. So I know that this record doesn't match my resource because I have a DVD. Well, let me give you a heads up. Library of Congress does not collect a lot of audiovisual materials, and so it's not surprising to me that they don't have a record that matches my resource in their database. You're going to either have to download this record and change it to match your resource, or try another catalog to find a good record that matches this resource. All right, so I'm going to show you where this MARC record downloaded. It downloaded onto my desktop right here. And if I click on this, so I have a tool called MARC Edit that will allow me to look at this, to open this file and look at the MARC record. But normally you won't have this on your in your catalog or your computer, and so you won't be able to look at it. But this is the record that I want you to upload to get the extra credit points. You don't need to take a look at it. You've already downloaded it. You just need to upload it, and this is what it should look like. It should have this purple M, or some, I know that other people have different colored M's, but it should look like this page and then with the M on it, and that's what you'll be uploading. All right, I hope this has been helpful to you in understanding how to do copy cataloging and download a record, what parts of the record to look at to see if they match the resource in hand.